Today, boys and girls, we're on lesson 2.5, Making Bar Graphs. We're on page 113. Let's take a look at Unlock the Problem. It says, Jordan took a survey of his classmates' favorite team sports. He recorded the results in the table at the right. How can he show the results in a bar graph? So we're looking at this tally chart right here, and our goal then today are make these tally charts or frequency tables into bar graphs, right? So we have favorite team sport, we have all the sports listed, the tallies, and here are our sports, and there, of course, are all the tallies. So we're going to use that tally chart, like I said, to make our bar graph. Let's look at each step. Step 1, it says write a title at the top to tell what the graph is about. Also, label the side of the graph to tell about the bars. Label the bottom of the graph to explain what the numbers tell. Well, let's start at the first one here. Write a title at the top to tell what the graph is about. And we know by now we can just use the title from our tally table, and it says favorite team sport. So right up here, we're going to write favorite team sport. Favorite, I'll get it. There we go. And team. And sport. There we go. So I have that done. The next thing it asked us to do was to label the side of the graph to tell about the bars. And that's going to be done right here. And you notice that line goes, it's a vertical line, right? So we're going to have to kind of turn our workbooks and write on that line. And let me erase that. So that's going to be this part right here where it says sport. So right there, I'm going to turn my paper sort of and write sport. So I have sport written. The other one I need to do is this one right here to label the bottom. And that's going to be, instead of tally, I can write votes or number or something like that. And I'm just going to write votes. There we go. So I took care of step 1. Now let's take a look at step 2. Choose the numbers for the bottom of the graph so that most of the bars will end on a line. That's important. We don't want our bar graphs to always be in the middle of two lines. It's better if most of them can end right on a line. Okay? So we'll have to think about what number we need, right? And as we continue to read here, it says, since the least number is 4, and the greatest number is 14, our scale will be 0 to 16, and we'll make our scale by 2s. Okay? So, down at the bottom, we have a 0, a 2, and we're just counting by 4s. We start at 0, and we just want to make sure over at the far end, way over here, that the number we end up with right here is bigger than the largest number from the tallies, okay? And we'll do that because I think we'll end at 16 and the biggest vote was 14. So it's 4, 6, and next up is 8, and 10, 12, 14, and get my last one in here, 16. Okay, the only thing I haven't done yet is fill in this section here. And that are going to be all the sports, right? So choose my eraser, and what are my sports? We want to put them in the same order. Soccer, basketball. So go back to green here. Soccer. I need to zoom in even further to make this fit. Basketball. And then I also have what? Baseball and football, huh? Baseball. And my last one is football. Okay. Step 3, draw and shade a bar to show the number for each sport. So this is where it's really important, boys and girls, that we count up our tallies exactly correct, right? So what I like to do, I've mentioned it before, I like to write the number over here off to the side, either at the right side or the left, and then I don't have to count the tallies all the time. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to count each sport and write the tallies that I need. So soccer is 5 and 10 plus 2 more is 12. Basketball is 1, 2, 3, 4. Really? 4? Oh, come on. Baseball is 5, 10 plus 4 more is 14. And football is 5 plus 4, that's 9. Oh, my 2 favorite sports got the least votes. Oh, well. Now I can go back over here and make my bar graph. Okay, so soccer, I know soccer is 12, right? Okay, I don't have to count it again. So I'm going to come over here, make a little line at the 12 spot. So here's 12 down here. Go straight up, and I'm going to make my little line so it lines up with soccer. Okay, so I have my little line there. And now I just draw the rest of my bar and color it in. So now I have soccer completed. Okay. Next up is basketball, and that was all of 4 votes. So I'm going to go to 4, draw my little line up there, and finish off my bar and fill it in. You do need to fill them in, boys and girls. So if you want to use crayon, sometimes crayon is a little bit better. Don't use a marker. It bleeds through the other side of your page. Baseball had 14, so looking down here at 14, and I go straight up, draw my little line, and then I can shade in the rest of my bar after I draw it. There we go. So there's baseball. And finally, football. Football is all the way up here, 9, right? Football is 9. There is no 9, but there's an 8 right here, and there's a 10 here. 9 is right in the middle of those two, so I'm going to draw my bar right in the middle. My little line, excuse me. There we go. And I'm going to fix this line here. There we go. Now I can fill in the rest of my bar. So football is between the 8 and the 10. It's in the middle of 2 lines, but that's the only one. The rest of them all ended up right on, the rest of them all ended up right on a line, and then I only had the one that was in between 2 lines. So that's a horizontal bar graph because our bars are going side to side horizontally, right? And we have a title. We have labels for the bottom and a label for the side. And then we have our, right here we have our scale. And of course we have our sports listed and then our bars. So that's all there is to it to create a bar graph. When you work on the next page, it's all share and show. Please show it to myself. And then if it's correct, you can move on to your assignment. As always, boys and girls, this is Mr. P, and I am out.